gonna
Okay, we're
answer
ready.
this one thing and then I'll
Yeah,
be like,
you do your thing. I'm actually finishing my coffee right now.
okay. And then I'll just say peace.
It's gonna be fantastic. Okay, I'm just gonna get my coffee. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm here with Kodette LaBarbera. Get it right, LaBarbera.
I know most people don't.
Usually they go,
LaBarbera.
yeah, bad people out there. So, anyways, thanks for joining me at 59 a.m. in the morning. We got our coffee
Full of coffee.
and we're just gonna have a fun chat because it's two Geminis on a Zoom call on a freaking Friday. We survived. Cheers.
Cheers.
We survived our two kitties.
Even though you thought I was probably going to be drinking because I messed up on my text messages last night.
That was amazing. Literally last night, you're like, I'm coming to pick you up in an Uber. I'm like, oh,
no,
okay.
with my homies. You're like, who are your homies?
I'm like, this is gonna be
happening?
the best Zoom call. Okay. So for those of the people out there who don't know about you, do you want to start from, I guess, I don't know how far back we should go. Just
oh my gosh, yeah. I've got
let's start from like, okay, so let's start where people may recognize you from. Hockey Wives, the TV show.
Yeah, Hockey Wives. Yeah, we did that for 2 seasons. Yeah, it was good. It was fun. We got out of it what we wanted. We wanted to raise awareness for autism, and they did a really good job. So yeah, most people kind of know us from that, or just charity work around town.
Did you ever think when you were younger you would be on a reality show?
Absolutely not. No, no. It's still weird sometimes. Like if someone's still, it's like, oh, Kodette, like I recognize you guys. I'm like, that's so funny.
What was the dream when you were younger?
Oh man, when I was younger, I wanted to be a marine biologist and just any kind of athlete. Like I was such a tomboy growing up, always playing sports, like always doing all the things in the dirt. I wouldn't wear girls' clothes. I wouldn't wear girls' bathing suits. Like wanted to just be one of the dudes.
You grew up in Arizona?
Well, I was born in Arizona and I grew up in Nelson.
Oh, in Nelson, BC.
Nelson, BC. Yeah. So.
And how did you meet your husband, who is Jason?
Yes. How did I meet him? So I was out with friends. He was out with friends, and I knew one of his best friends. So I was talking to his buddy, and then my girlfriend wanted to like stick around and talk to one of the other friends because she thought he was hot, and I didn't really want to. So then I just noticed Jason, so I hit on him, and
just makes
so I totally picked him up. Yeah, if he might have a different story. He probably thinks he's smooth, but no, it was all me.
Oh, and you guys have been together for how long now?
So we met in 2006, and then we really started like dating in 2007.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So and he's a goalie for. Okay, I don't do hockey. I know, what kind of freaking Calgarian am I? Like this is all happening. But I know that he was a goalie for the Edmonton Oilers.
He's been, yeah, kind of everywhere. So he was drafted by the Rangers, and then they used to do like prospect camps in Calgary. So he started coming here and just fell in love with the city. So he would always summer here. So most hockey players have a summer home and then they're home during the season. And so this was his summer home, was Calgary. And so that's how I met him, was like we were both here. And then but when I met him, he was with the Kings. And so he went from Rangers, and then he signed with the Kings when he was a free agent, and then traded to Canucks, then signed with Phoenix.
It's like the weirdest things. Like I was traded like a card.
It's honestly, it's the weirdest thing. And like, so like our first trade, we've only been traded twice, but usually you just get traded and you're out, like you're gone. Like the guys are on the next flight out, and like that's it. And then you have to just like
super emotional.
It's so weird. Like it's so weird. And I was 9 months pregnant with Ryder when Jason was traded to Vancouver. And so we were lucky because Vancouver's a crazy, like amazing organization. They're unbelievable. And so they were so organized. They're like, okay, these are the dates your movers are coming. Your cars are getting imported on this day. Like they were just like, blah, blah, blah. Your doctor's appointment. Cause again, I was 9 months pregnant. They're like, your doctor's appointment's this day. Like, we're going to get you up here. Like just boom, boom, boom. They were unbelievable. Cause I'm like, this is
I'm
my
gonna give
first trip.
birth. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, this is my first trade and this is my first child. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, oh, can I swear in here?
Yeah, you can do whatever.
Okay. Yeah, it was just insane. So yeah, it's a crazy life. And then so yeah, then we were Vancouver, then Phoenix and Edmonton, then he got traded to Chicago, which I
But
didn't
okay,
go.
so let's go back to your husband's first trade. Is that like emotional for him? Because it almost feels like a quick like breakup. It's like move on, it's your job, get
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah. And I think it's hard for guys, like especially their first trade. And then sometimes when you're just like really not expecting it or wanting it. Like some guys do want to trade and it is emotional. You can't help but take it personally, even though it's part of the business. Like you're a
Is there
pawn.
like a support group for the men who like I feel like they need it because you're with the team for so long, you kind of establish your base, your people, you know, and then it's like, okay, bye, see you later. It's like,
oh, it's wild. And Jason was lucky in the sense that they gave him enough notice. And so he didn't have to get on the next flight. So he got to go and have drinks with the guys and just like kind of say bye. So that was really nice. It was pleasant. Like he was given enough, like, you know, there was enough respect that the Kings were like, hey, we're going to put you on the trade wire. Like, here's what's happening. This is how it goes. It wasn't just like he's watching TV and he sees it on the ticker, where that's how a lot of guys find out, or they
oh my
find out.
God, it's so like a relationship. It's like getting a text. It's like, see you later. It's like you're watching a show. You're like, what? I've been traded.
Oh yeah, you're just watching a show and or like you like go online. It's like you're traded. You're like, oh, like I found out on Twitter. Like a lot of people find out on Twitter that they got traded. It's just nuts. And so
like,
we were
seriously.
like, yeah, it was nice. Like, and again, you can't help it take it personally. And we loved the group in LA. Like we all got along so well. It was like family. And then all of a sudden it's like you're gone. And but so I was there for like a couple more weeks and tying up like all the loose ends and everything, because you're essentially moving out of a country, right? So it's like you got to tie it all up. And
so where did Hockey Wise fit in? Like when did they catch you guys in LA or in
no, when Jason was playing for Anaheim and I was home, I was in Calgary. So we were in Edmonton and Jason got traded to Chicago. And then I made the decision to move home with the kids because Ryder had just gotten diagnosed with autism and we were just getting all the therapy and everything. So I'm like, I can't keep moving him. So I moved him back to Calgary from Edmonton. Jason went off to Chicago. And then that summer he signed with Anaheim. And so because of Ryder's therapy and school and everything, it was better for us just to stay home in Calgary. And then, so we were home in Calgary. Jason was in Anaheim, and then Hockey Wives asked us if we would come on the show. Obviously super unsure. It was like, what? And then, I mean, I knew who else was going on it. And that actually was really helpful because I already had friends on the show, like that were doing it. And we're all like, okay, we're all in it together. And that kind of helped us trust the process. We're like, okay, well, the Browns are doing it. The Peroses are doing it, Whitney's. And then Jason's agent, like, is always so amazing. And he was like such a good mentor. And I called Brad, his name is Brad. I called him like every day. And he was like, I totally think you should do it. It'll be so good for autism awareness. And yeah, so we went forward. And
because I have to say, I remember watching the first episode because I'm like, I want to see the fancy outfits. Because again, I don't do hockey, sorry.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of fancy outfits out of me.
No, but for some reason, you really stood out because if I look back at watching the first episode, I only remember you packing up your home and just being so real about like your fear about shifting and moving. Were you moving at that point in like one of the first episodes? Like you're packing up and talking about like how difficult it is right now to be going back and forth, or maybe you're packing for your husband.
Oh, you know what? That was probably season 2, and I was packing.
I'm late to
moving. It might have been season 2. Yeah, because we decided for Jason's last year of hockey, like he knew it was going to be like when he was signing, he's like, this is my last contract, I'm done. So we're like, okay, we'll go with you. So the kids can really enjoy it and see you. And so, yeah, we packed up and we moved from Calgary to Pennsylvania. I drove a U-Haul trailer, the dog, like a bunch of shit. And then, yeah, so that's when you would have, so that was season 2. So we were in Pennsylvania for that one.
Okay, but home base is Calgary now.
Yeah.
Loving it.
We're
And
happy here.
how old is Ryder now?
12.
So cool. Okay, love following you on Insta. He's like the sweetest, funniest, quirkiest, awesomest, smartest. Like he's like everything you want in a son. I'm sorry. Like
Yeah.
he's
He's so
just so
funny.
loving. He's so
Yeah.
loving.
He is like, he's such a doll. Sorry, my coffee's making me hot. I feel like menopausal.
Woo!
Um, we he's just so funny because he's so genuine, and he doesn't understand like that, like you can't say some things. Like it's like, I guess, well, I got a message yesterday from one of the moms whose daughter is in Ryder's class, and I guess the daughter's been super sick with pneumonia, has been home for like weeks, like and just out of nowhere the other day, I guess Ryder put up his hand, and the teacher's like, "Yes, Ryder," and he's like, "I think Taylor's dead."
Oh,
And I was like, "Oh my God, Ryder!" But I'm like, I'm glad he brought it up. Like, is anyone else?
where is she? It's been a
Yeah.
while. Oh my gosh. Talk about like the magic because sometimes that just brings everything into perspective. I'm sure
Mhm.
she's fine. But talk about just like making people laugh. We so forget those little moments and
Oh, and
just
he's
want to
just
hang out
so,
with you.
yeah, he's just so genuinely like himself, like, and whether you like it or not, or like, sometimes Jason's like, well, I hope this doesn't get him in trouble or like whatever. But I'm like, whatever. He's just himself. And like most people are like end up thinking like, God, like I wish I could say these things like Ryder does. Like it's just, he just does it. And
And
people,
he started to have a huge fan base.
yeah, oh, he's got a huge fan base. I think my whole following is for him. And then
And
a
so
couple weird dudes.
are we allowed to talk about kind of what you're planning to do?
um
Or is
I'm
it
so slow on that. I'm just so behind on that right
no,
now.
but like the goal is that can we talk about the dream for Ryder? What we would like to do, slash you would like to do?
Yeah,
Like
I
it's
mean,
a part
just
of me because we
keep,
talked about it. So I'm like,
I know, just keep like bringing the good message. Like he just like every time I post a video or anything of Ryder and like something he's like said, people are just like all over it. Like they just love watching him, and just like through his eyes, and like obviously watching life through kids' eyes is so interesting. And like I think that's one of the best parts about being a parent, is seeing, watch your kids and how they think and process things. But Ryder's kind of like that, but on steroids, right? Like he's like, and so just want, like, I'm like, I just feel like his message like has always been so great, and he gives so many people a lot of hope, like with their own kids with autism. And that's most of the messages I get are like, watching Ryder gives me hope for my 3-year-old, and like the fact that Ryder could barely talk um, by 4. He could still barely talk. He couldn't put together a sentence. And now you look at him and stuff, and so I'm like, I just feel like he has so much more to give in like life and lessons and the way you view things for people. And I think that's the biggest takeaway with everyone off my Instagram, is just like seeing it in just such a like casual light, and like just normalizing autism first off. But um and like that's not the only thing I want to like identify Ryder. Like I'm like, it's what makes you you and unique, and we're all unique. But he also just has so much more than that, right? And
it's this perspective to life. It's so refreshing and beautiful,
so
especially at a time where we're
refreshing.
so serious and so like, but like you
Yeah.
said, it's also destigmatizing. Is that the word? Destigmatizing autism,
Yeah.
right? It's making
Yeah.
it more like it's normal. It's okay. It's you can function in life. It's not like I don't
Exactly. He
like
can
I
still.
can't even like it's just I don't know. I think it's great. I think it's so great to normalize it. And especially even who's that comedian I was telling you about? What's oh God.
Amy Schumer.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
husband's autistic. He's on the
Yeah.
spectrum.
Yeah.
He's
And like just
hilarious. Their show's brilliant because of him. Like he makes it
right. And that's the thing, is like normalizing it, and even like normalizing like the negative, right? Where people are like, I feel like a lot of the messages I get are like, I feel so alone. My family doesn't understand. My friends don't understand, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you know what? We had that with some family members, and I'm like, you cut them out for a bit. Like, fuck it. It's like, if you can't conform to Ryder's wants or needs while we're navigating this, then you can't be around. It's just point blank, like just gas them for a bit, and just normalize like the negative too, right? That comes with it. It's just like, even when I posted, gosh, back in October, I posted that I got my flu shot, and someone was like, "That's why your child has autism, is because you do shit like this." And I'm like, "Are you joking?" And it's just like, but you know what? Bring that to light then. Like,
Yeah, let's talk about it.
yeah, like bring it. I don't care. Like, I'll go toe to toe with you all day long, but not from behind your fake profile. But, and it's like, just normalize the negative, normalize the fact that someone, someone close to you is not going to understand, and you're not going to be around them as much. Like, just normalize all of it, because, it's just a part of life. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like, what Ryder's brought to all of our lives. And like, even I say, like, with his friends, when I would text his, like, these other parents, and I'm like, your child is amazing. Like, he's so patient. He's so good to Ryder. Like, I'll say this to like all the parents, and they're like, you know what? Ryder is just as good for our kids as he is, like, as they are to him. And I'm like, oh, that's so true. Like,
It is.
and that they all realize it. Like, I don't know, that they need, someone like Ryder too. Like, it's like the inclusion, but like diversity in your group of friends, right? Like, you've got everyone has that group,
Everyone
right?
brings
Like,
a little spark to the situation, and I
exactly.
think it's so important. I love that he's integrated in his school. Like, what school does he go to now?
He's in Springbank.
Right, so he's in a normal school. It's
Yeah.
perfect, because I think it's everything you said was dead on. Like, we all bring a little something, and we all
Totally.
either the person we meet either makes us reflect, how are we so stuck? Do we need to make an adjustment in our lives? Or, just share that beauty, that joy. And I just
Right.
love his message. And I know he's going to have a show one day, and we kind of named it. What do we keeping it real with Ryder? Or what was it?
Rolling with Ryder? No, what is it?
Ride. Oh my God. Did you not write it down?
It's got to be in my notes somewhere.
It was good, but I see that for his future, and I think it's going to be beautiful.
It would be hilarious. He's so funny. Just like the way he talks, like even at bedtime when I'm like, just trying to like hang out with him. He's like fake yawn. He's like, oh, okay, you need to leave. You're like, okay, just want to hang out with you, buddy. Darn it.
I love that so much. Okay. So let's go. I just wanted to go a little more into autism. So he was diagnosed when he was 3. Were there certain things that you noticed, or what is an age that actually most people can get diagnosed at?
I don't know. It's so weird, because I think it's changed even since we got him diagnosed, but some kids are just getting diagnosed younger. But when we got him diagnosed, we could only get into speech therapy until he was only after he turned 3. And just because kids develop so differently, that they say just like wait till they're about 3 to get diagnosed. But I know of kids getting diagnosed earlier than that, which I don't know what's right or wrong, but I think 3 was a good age, because we kind of like knew him better and knew like this just wasn't, typical behavior. Because he wasn't talking, he would spell a word instead of say it. Like, he'd spell, like when he's 2.5, he would spell chicken, but he could
Wow.
never say the word chicken. And we're like, Jesus.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Really. One of my girlfriends was like, yeah, Ryder spell balloon. And then he's like, BALLON. She's like, okay, forget it. But he wouldn't say it, which is not socially appropriate,
I
right?
think you spelled balloon wrong. He's going to call you out on that when he watches this back, just so you know.
Oh yeah, did I spell balloon wrong?
You
Okay.
did 1 O. That's okay. Maybe you did 2. I don't know. I'm very
I talk fast. I probably said 2 O's.
Gemini's in the house. What's Ryder's favorite song?
He likes a lot of Justin Timberlake. But he also he likes a lot of music. Oh my gosh. And he likes a lot of rap.
Rap.
Yeah, even though Jason hates it, he'll be like, put on some J. Cole. And Jason's like, how does he know like J. Cole? I'm like, oh, I don't know. So weird. Range.
Okay, so what would you say? There's 2 words to describe Ryder. If people didn't know him, what are 2 words?
Oh my gosh, how do I just narrow it down to 2? Genuine. And sweet. He's very sweet.
I wish he was here.
Oh my God, he's so funny. But no, he's at school.
Okay, we'll have to do an interview. Can I interview Ryder one time?
Yeah, he's so funny. He even yesterday, he loves to be early for school. Like, he goes in half an hour before the bell. But yesterday, I'm about to send him in, and I look back, and he's got a giant hole in the crotch of his pants. and like bright red boxers. And I'm like, I can't send you to school like this. And so I'm like calling everybody that lives in my neighborhood. I'm like, have you left your house? Have you left your house? And then everyone had already left. So then one of my friends lives closer to the school. So she ripped home to go get something for Ryder to wear. And then now he's like starting to stress because now he's late to be early for school. And so he had such a bad day. He was so pissed off. And I'm like, I cannot send you like this. So then today I drove him and he like ran into school half hour early, like ready to go. Like there's nothing that's going to make this kid miss a day.
Okay, so how early does he have to be?
Half an hour.
Okay, like on the dot. Like, and if it's not, he'll call you out. He'll be like, Mom.
It just stresses him out. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. I love that. And the school's like so cool about it. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I think he just quietly buzzes around and like reads a book or whatever. But
my daughter is very adamant about being early as well. She's always like, "Are we late?" I'm like, "No, we're on time." But are we early? I'm like, "Yes." Okay.
Like, chill out.
Like, please, my Capricorn darling. So what's a quote that you live by? Because I'm just gonna say, life seems like it took an unexpected turn for you as a first-time mom, as your first child to also have, Ryder's diagnosis and I know you went through a very difficult time, like as anyone would. What's a quote that you kind of like when you're like, it goes
I don't know if I necessarily live by a quote, but I'm just like, I think I'm pretty rigid. Like sometimes I'm like, geez, do I have autism? I'm pretty rigid about how things roll, but I think with hockey, it's kind of taught me I have to just fly by the seat of my pants. And I'm all about having like a good time. Like if I don't laugh like so hard, I pee my pants every day. Like I'm like, what a crappy day. Like I just honestly want to have fun. I want my kids to have fun. Like I just try to keep things as light as possible. Like I honestly don't take too many things seriously. I just think I honestly, I live for fun.
I think you bring the fun, babe.
I do try. I know my friends are like, we don't know what to expect with you. Every time we see you, you've got some new weird shit that we're going to do and it's fun and we laugh our asses off. And they're like, are you okay?
Yeah, you can't leave Calgary ever. Like, cause you created your own little community around where you live, right? All the time there.
Yeah, we have such a good community here. And like, even with my youngest, like we sometimes we're like, where is he? Like he just like takes off on his bike and he's like, just enjoying his little neighborhood and loves it. It's fun. We're loving it where we are.
I don't want to move there. Anyways, you're a realtor broker. Realtor broker, is that what they call them? I don't know how to talk English anymore.
Have you been drinking without me?
Yes. It's too early.
No.
So let me know what's in the area because I want to have fun.
Yeah, come out here. It's still fun. I honestly like barely leave my neighborhood anymore. And then I bought one of those cruising coolers. And so I'm like the ice cream man, but cooler. And so like I'll drive around and I'll like burn out. It's got a horn, I honk, and then like I'll see like somebody at the park. I'm like, want a Truly, want a White Claw? Like I'm just like handing out drinks through the neighborhood. I'm like,
where do you get one of those things, motorized coolers from? Amazon? Mm-hmm. Oh, you're amazing. Okay. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully still just buzzing around on my cooler. Yeah, hopefully that thing's still running and flying around.
Still working.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I'm really enjoying real estate. I have a really good team that I'm working with, and I see like I've had such good mentorship with them, and one of my partners, me and Jackie, we're just working on building our own little like name and stuff. So just really want to see that business grow. I love working with her. She's so incredibly smart. Yeah. And I still want to, in 10 years, still want to be raising awareness for autism, even if Ryder's moved out. And, like I hope he never does, but I hope I know Easton's going to move out and leave me, but I'm like, we'll see if Ryder does. Okay. Yeah. Just still doing this, but next level of everything. I like to grow it.
Love
every year.
That's wonderful. Okay, I think I asked all my questions. Okay. This is the finale. Ready for the finale?
Boy.
Bam. Best thing Ryder ever taught you?
Best thing he ever taught me. Oh my gosh. Um, to be unapologetically myself.
That's cool.
Hmm.
I
You
like
know what? I know I'm not for everybody, and if you don't like it, don't come around, I guess. Like just be myself, right? Don't try to be a people pleaser with people who it's not working for me. Like there's no point. So, yeah, just
be
be
straight up. Be
yeah,
straight up.
just be straight up. Take it or leave it. Like this is me, and I think
Keep it
that
real with Ryder.
exactly. Keep it real with Ryder.
The new show, we know it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be brilliant. It's what I think Netflix needs right now.
Hmm. Yeah, no, him
Such a cool
like
mentor.
he would be so funny. Like him and his brother, they're quite the little duo.
That's amazing. Well, thanks for your time, honeybee.
Thank you.
Geminis for life. And yeah, you could pick me up in that Uber.
I'll be dressed as an inflatable penis. So
Oh, you have way too much fun. I'm so
I know. And then I have to walk to my friend's backyard on Elbow Drive in a inflatable penis costume.
Is that what's happening today? Is that on the menu? Okay.
Later.
Okay, I'll see your Insta and I'll see what happens. Well, thanks, honey.
Thank you.
Oh, we have to do like a smile thing. Hold on. And then we smile and then I post it for Insta. Ready? Wait.
Okay.
Oh, I have to take a snapshot. Crap, I'm really bad at this. Hold on. Don't worry, I have to do this thing. Hold on. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And snap.